Welcome back to the Padilla Family Homestead. Today we are here to start our fall garden. I'm actually late in doing this. It is 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th. It's July 29th today. And I should have started some of this stuff back in June. Some of this I really wanted to start a couple of weeks ago. But between the weather, me getting sick, and all the things, I decided that I needed to push it off until it was the right time. So I am going ahead and I'm starting this stuff inside because it's actually really hot outside right now. We have been having heat warnings every day, so you will hear the air conditioner in the background. I apologize for that, it's a little louder, but I need the air conditioner. So I have done many seed starting videos before, but I'm gonna do another one. I did not start seeds with you in the spring, and I have some videos talking about how I figure out when I'm gonna start my seeds and what I'm growing for the fall. I'll make sure to put that in the description of this video so you can reference it. And so basically today I'm starting cabbages, Chinese cabbage, collards, kale, kohlrabi, lettuce, Swiss chard, calendula, nasturtium, and because my beets have been having a hard time germinating outside, I'm going to go ahead and try to germinate them inside and see what's going on with that. And then, so this is this round, and then I will have more rounds of seeds coming up. So when I very first started starting seeds, I used 8 cartons and Keurig K-Pods. I would just poke a hole in, take the foil off, poke a hole in the bottom, and use that for seed starting. I got the cheap $5 Jiffy set from Walmart, and that did it. The thing is that I ended up collecting all kinds of things that could be used, and it helped financially because I was in a place where I really needed that help financially to be able to start. I was really investing in all the seeds. Once I had a seed stock going on, then we ended up ordering heavy duty trays from Bootstrap Farmers. So these do not bend. This one bends like a little bit more, but these solid ones do not bend. So I have solid trays. I have this 10-20 seed starting tray. I have the little plastic 2-inch pots, I think is what they are. And then a tray to hold some of the 2-inch pots. I didn't get many of those. I have the little microgreen squares where this will hold 8 squares, this 10 by 20. And so I got quite a few things that I just reuse. And I'm going to show you a clip. I was going to show you what I was going to do to clean these yesterday, but it got really hot by the time I recorded my garden tour, and then the landscapers came and were mowing and things like that, and so I really could not get outside and finish that. So I'm going to go ahead and pop in a clip right here of how I sanitize these basically. Actually, I'll talk about it while I show you a tiny little clip. Basically, I should have cleaned my bins, my containers after emptying them. That is best practice. A lot of times I get, there's just so much going on, and I wait until it's time for me to use them, which is not good. That helps bacteria grow. I actually found slugs in the tote that had all these in it, which was crazy. So I sprayed them out with water really well, soaked them in a plastic tote full of water and Dawn dish soap, and you spray them out, and then you can spritz this or dunk this or whatever in vinegar to help kill any other bacteria things, and then let dry completely. And so, because vinegar can be used as a weed killer, so you don't want to put that in with your baby seedlings. So that is how I would clean these. You can use bleach, you can use all kinds of different things. The vinegar seems to work just fine for me. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this soil ready. And I just got a potting soil mix, a potting soil mix from a local nursery. This is super light, super fluffy. It's what they start all their seeds in. And it has perlite and peat moss and something else in it, probably coconut coir, I don't know for sure. But it's very, very light. It's also dry right now. So before I put this into my seed starting tray, I want to add water to it and make sure it thoroughly gets moistened throughout before I pop the seeds in. Because you want to start with moistened soil, that way you can keep it moist. Whereas if you start with dry soil, sometimes you're not getting the center of that when you're watering. And so the other thing I do is I bottom water in these. Even if I'm seed starting, for the most part, I'll bottom water. If I'm not going to put the fan on these. Actually, no, I am going to put the fan on. So I may spritz every once in a while on top. The fan helps keep fungus gnats at bay and keeps any mildew at bay. We're super humid right now, and I have a dehumidifier that's normally running, and to try to help with the moisture. But having the seeds over there, I think we're gonna need to have the fan on them. So I just have faucet water that I'm gonna pour some in here. It usually takes way more than you think to get everything mixed in. I love the smell of this dirt. So this consistency where it's kind of sticking together is great. I just want it all to kind of have that consistency. So I'm definitely going to pour in some more water. I don't want it too wet to where it's like soupy. But this is really going to absorb a lot that first time. And I feel like this is one area that I did not do well when I first started, is having already moistened through soil and then not putting it at, what's it called? Moistened through soil and fluffy soil. I actually forgot one more thing that I want to use this time around. So I'm going to go grab it really fast. I think we're at the point where I could probably wring some out. Yes, yeah, bringing some out if I squeeze hard. But this first time around, I wanted to have that moisture. So you can tell I use quite a bit of water. Okay, so this soil does not have a lot of nutrients in it. That is the downfall that I have found this bag stinks. That is the downfall that I have found when starting seeds in light fluffy soil. A lot of times there's no nutrients, or the nutrients leaves really fast. I personally don't want to use Miracle-Gro stuff. It's really super high in nitrogen and lower in a lot of the other stuff when it comes to the fertilizers. And so I have this organic biotone starter plant food, and it's 433. So it has one more nitrogen than the other two. And when I up pot, I normally put a little bit of this in each one of the pots as I'm up potting. This time around, I'm going to put some into this soil before I start, the seeds, because seeds have enough energy to pop up and break through the dirt, but after that they need food. And so that's something that I think I have been struggling with when I've been seed starting with this soil, is I don't feed it fast enough. I could do like a watered down fishable shake in it, and I probably will later, but I would like to start this out and give it the best shot here. Whew, I forgot how bad this is. Because I'm doing the whole bowl here, you really only need a little bit. So, this is to make my kitchen sink. It's the only downfall of this. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and mix this in and just give those plants a healthy kick. I'm going to have people come over later today. My living room in my house is going to smell like fish poop, because this really does smell like poop. Alright, so at least this has some food mixed into it, which is beneficial. And I will be sanitizing my table, don't you worry. I kind of push all my decorations back. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just fill up these little slots. So this is a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 12, which I believe is 72. And that's going to give me a whole lot of space to start seeds right now. I'm going to go ahead and fill up the whole tray, even if I'm not going to use the whole tray right now. And then I will be adding seeds to it. It'll make my life easier later on. Hopefully I grabbed enough dirt. I might have made, seriously, the perfect amount of dirt. We'll see here. I'm getting it all over my paper though. So I don't want to push into these holes super hard, but if I go to push a seed in, I also don't want to like have an empty spot here. So I do try to like tell, like these had a bunch of air on the bottom. So I'm just gonna do a little tiny poke. I still want this to be light and fluffy. But this is gonna help me space this out. That was pretty hollow. Out of dirt there. So what I'm actually going to do now is take this and kind of scrape it down and get it off the edges. That way it fills in these other ones that are lighter and takes that little bit off of the ones that don't really need it. Okay. I know I created a mess. Okay. I'm going to go ahead, because I have both hands really dirty right now. I'm going to go ahead and go wash my hands, and then I will be back. So I'm going to go ahead and get my paper set up, and what I like to do, I need to print one of these and laminate it, but I'm not going to today. I'm going to make kind of a map of my grid here, and I'll use a pen to do the grid. So I need a top, I need an edge. Ooh, I'm going to be really crooked today apparently. Okay, so we're 6 by 12, so it's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and then I'm going to beam this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now I'm just going to count. Actually, no, I'm going to count the same way. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and I'm going to close off that outer side. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, not super neat, but this is going to work, and this is going to be my grid for what I'm putting where. I have little clips that I'll put on the front here that's going to tell me this is exactly where I started. For now though, just to make my life easier, I'm going to start on this, where this nail is. And that's what I'm going to know. This side, this front is where the nail is. Okay? So I have a list. I used my SeedTime app and used the layout and wrote down how many of everything that I'm going to need to start according to where I plan to put it. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. I need to put these in some sort of an order. So I got kale, cabbage, kohlrabi, collards, Swiss chard. Is the spinach on this list? No. Chinese cabbage, beets. I am missing beets. I have a lettuce. I have calendula. Okay, so I am missing, oh, there's the collards. What am I missing? I am missing a nasturtium, and I am missing 2 beets, and I think that's it. I'm gonna go grab those and be right back. Okay. So because I have these sorted now, we're gonna just start at the top of my list and work my way across. So we're gonna start with the cabbage. So seeds go twice as deep as they are wide. And cabbage seeds are pretty small. These are older. These are from 2020, so I'm hoping I have good germination. Seeds do not expire when they're, seeds do not expire when the year that they're packaged for goes away. However, their germination rate goes down. So instead of putting 1 seed in, I'm putting 4 in because these seeds are 5 years old. Let's see. This says to sow 1/4 of an inch, which is not very far. I only want 1 plant of this, so I'm planting 4 seeds in hope of that 1 plant. So now in that top corner, I'm going to write Calibos cabbage. And that one's planted. And then we're going to come down to the Brunswick cabbage. And I want 2 plants of these. And I'm just going to put Again, just barely making a hole here and putting quite a few seeds in just to make sure that I get it. Brunswick cabbage. So there's all kinds of ways that you can start seeds. There's all kinds of ways that you can label seed start when you start. It's such a personal thing with whatever you do, what works for your habits and things like that. I like the stick things if I can find ones where they're gonna stay, because when I pop it out, then I could just put that stick with it. On the other side, I like that I have the airflow without the sticks in it, and I just use this piece of paper and I can change what I want off of it. If I decide as I pull something and put new ones in, I can easily do that. It's not a big deal. I need to mark the ones that I'm doing when I pot them up, because that was kind of a dilemma this year. My friend, we marked hers, and we did not mark mine, which was my bad. I just put stuff out in the garden, and so I need to map out where things are, because there's a few things that I wasn't 100% positive what they were until later on. Okay, so where did, oh, they are all in there. All right, the next thing we're gonna get to are the collards, and I just need one of each. These have started each time for me, so I'm not super worried about their germination. I feel like these are good, so I'm only gonna put 3. I don't know why this one says half an inch. It's kind of odd because the seeds are still small. So Georgia Southern collards. Next up is kale. That's going to be one of my favorite rows. What I'm going to go ahead and do is, when it comes to putting these in, we are going to cover one of the green stalks. So everything that's growing in that green stalk, I'm going to have to take out, check for caterpillar, cocoons for moths, and see if I can get to the point where I have everything out of there, so then I have this covered so my greens are protected, because we have way too many of the white moths that look like butterflies, and it is becoming detrimental to anything that's greens. And so I just need to make sure that I'm covering what I can, and I don't want to cover something that is already not covered, because then whatever's going to get into them, right? Those plants, those basils, all that stuff is going to have other stuff. So I'm going to try to transplant some of my basils and some of my parsley into my leaf GreenStalk planter that has the 7 tiers, and it has the mint and the thyme and oregano in it, and see if they will survive that transplant, because I would like to keep harvesting off of them, but I also would really like to keep my greens alive. So we're gonna do some experimenting. I'm not ordering this set through through GreenStalk. I'm going to try something else that's more makeshift due to cost, and eventually I would love to get the bug and the frost protection for the GreenStalks that are made for them, but I'm not going to be able to right now. So, which is totally fine. Okay, so these 2 rows are done. So I'm going to go on to this next one. And this one I need to do my kohlrabi. I've tried to grow these a few times, guys. And every time something happened and they have not worked. So one of the reasons why I really like starting seeds is because I can grow unique, weird things like kohlrabi that I can't get at a store. I can grow unique varieties of things and flavors. I really like Swiss chard. My magenta Swiss chard did not do well this summer. So I'm hoping that it will do better with the cooler temps for the fall. Once it cools down, because right now it is not cooling down. My perpetual chard though is doing great. I mean, my perpetual spinach chard is doing great. So that one I am getting a lot of I'm harvesting off of. My brain's having a hard time doing this and talking. That's okay though. Alright, so we can cover this up. Some of those I feel like only went to 1/4 of an inch. So I'm gonna need so I'm going to do calendula and nasturtiums. I'm very excited. The nasturtiums died out this time around, so I'm hoping that this time around, when they're grown under bug netting and hopefully some frost cover later, that they're going to be good. Okay, so we're going to do 1, 2, this is purple emperor, and I'm only doing 2. Okay. So we have purple emperor nasturtium. And then we're going to do 3 of these black velvet. These. And then we're only going to do 1 flashback calendula. These are kind of fun because the front of this flower that's open is lighter, and the back of the flower is darker, which is why it's called flashback. It looks really pretty when you add this to oils and to things. So that's why I'm growing it, is because it's pretty in soaps and stuff. So. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and cover all of these. Last but not least are my beets. And these go 1/2 inch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need 6 and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to go 6 and 7. Each. So beets are actually clusters. So the seed is actually a seed for multiple. So you want to be careful with how much you sow. Cylindra beet, and we're going for so I do want a little bit of this dirt. Don't really want that stick though. Okay, and that's it. I have seed started my fall seeds. I did not start any Brussels sprouts inside because they actually came up outside. Just a little worried that they're gonna get eaten like the peas did. So I need to replant peas. I need to sow some carrots. We're about to have a cool down, so this would be the time to get them to germinate. So I'll need to do that this week. And then, yeah, it's just slowly tearing things out, replacing things, getting things ready, watching that temperature in the forecast for when it's the right time to put these out into the garden. They need to start early, that way they can have time to grow to full size before all the frost happens. But it's a fine line because it's so hot right now. It feels like 108 yesterday. So that's not really the time you want cabbages outside. So having it inside is great. So I'm going to go ahead and get this moved over to the seed starting area. I'm not going to put lights on it today. These will start to pop up pretty quickly though. So within a day or two I will have lights on them. But right now I'm going to go get ready for company to come over. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you back on the next video.